Yellowstone County spans more than 2,600 square miles. We serve somewhere between 165,000 and 170,000 residents, and more than 16% of them live in rural areas where distance, limited infrastructure, and workforce shortages mean that getting support isn't just inconvenient, it's sometimes impossible. Nearly 1 in 5 of our residents is 65 or older. More than 12% of households include an older adult living independently, and close to 10% of residents under 65 are living with a disability. Behind every one of those numbers is a caregiver. And caregivers, especially in rural and frontier communities, often don't have access to the education, training, stress management tools, or peer support they desperately need. We already had programs that were making a real difference, but we knew the scale of what we were doing didn't match the scale of the need. The Community Care Corp grant gave us the opportunity to change that, to take what was working, build it out, and make a real commitment to the caregivers who make everything else possible. The program we developed is called CarePartners, and it's really an umbrella that brings together 3 connected layers of support for family and caregivers. The foundation is our CarePartner support groups, which meet monthly at 2 locations in Billings. These are spaces where caregivers can get information, find community, and know they're not navigating alone. We also have our CarePartners Memory Cafe, a welcoming, relaxed gathering for people living with memory loss and the people who care for them.
So CarePartner support group, we meet twice a month, once at the 1505 Avenue D location and once at the 935 Lake Elmo location. We meet to allow people who are taking care of a loved one, for a place for them to just be able to sound off a little bit, get some networking, resources, just a way to know that they're not alone taking care of someone, and some tips and tricks that might help them along the way. Memory cafes are known across the nation. Each one in every community might be a little bit different, but the premise is the same, that it's a place for those with cognitive loss, so either thinking ability loss and or memory loss, a place for them to come and do something fun and participate along with somebody that is caring for them. And it's a great opportunity for them to be able to maybe do something different for the day, get them out of their home in a safe environment with skilled volunteers and professionals around them, which also guides the care partners maybe with some ways to handle different situations as they arise. So it's a learning opportunity as well as a great fun time. One of the great examples that I can use as far as like Memory Cafe is we had an individual trying to express herself and tell a story, and her loved one kept filling in the story and answering and telling the story for her. And we were able to kind of gently teach him to just let us make the eye contact, let us have that communication. And at the end of the time, it was just such a beautiful experience that we may not have known exactly what she was trying to tell us, but it was positive, everybody felt good, and he recognized, he said, I have to stop answering all my mom's questions and for her, don't I? And it's like, yep, you need to just let her be her.
It's not clinical, it's human. And now, thanks to this grant, we're adding a third and deeply intentional layer.
Well, it's not exactly a volunteer experience because we're just developing the program now. I can share my personal experience as a caregiver, a role I was honored to play for both my parents. During the pandemic, I moved to Arizona to be closer to my parents. Montana was feeling too far from my mom and dad, especially given their ages and some pre-existing conditions that made them extra vulnerable during this time. I wanted to be there to help them both and to help my dad with his inevitable increasing caregiving responsibilities for my mom, who had been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. As is often the case with life, I did not anticipate or did not foresee my dad's cancer diagnosis and that he would need care. I was completely overwhelmed and terrified. I wanted to do right by my parents and had pretty much no idea what I was doing. I did all I could for my dad. I was so in it, I didn't have the capacity, awareness, or ability to look for or consider outside resources. When he died, 8 months after his diagnosis, I moved in with my mom as her primary caregiver. I was a little more equipped this time, but there's only so much one person can do. This time, I knew I needed more help, guidance, and support. It is from this perspective that we're designing this program. While each caregiving journey is unique, there are some commonalities. It can be overwhelming. It can be lonely and isolating, and it can be really, really hard. And on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, caregiving can be the most amazing, beautiful, and profound experience. It can be full of love, joy, play, and deep connection. When caregivers have the resources and the capacity to show up fully, to show up with an open heart, and to feel like they know what they're doing, and have people who can support them along the way, it changes everything for everyone. As a certified presence-based and trauma-informed coach, I'm so excited to be working with allies in aging to help caregivers feel seen and heard, to create communities for people who are in similar position where they can show up fully, speak candidly about their experiences, to provide access to resources and share tips and tricks, to connect caregivers with people who will help them in the moment and throughout their journey. Caregiving is everything in all the ways. And at its core, caregiving is love. I am so lucky and honored to be working on this program to support caregivers across Yellowstone County to care for the person they love. Love is at the heart of our program's mission.
At the heart of what we do is something that sounds simple but is actually profound, giving people a safe and brave space to show up as they are, to share their experience without editing it, to learn without judgment, to struggle and to be met with understanding rather than answers, to know deeply, not just intellectually, that they are not alone. That's the coaching spirit we want to bring to every layer of this work. And as we look ahead, that's what we want to scale. We want to reach more caregivers where they are, geographically, emotionally, practically. We want to expand outreach into more rural parts of Yellowstone County. We want to build a peer network that grows and sustains itself because the people we train become part of a community that outlasts any single program.